Our general philosophy for multiplayer in Far Cry 2 was to try to take the most effective and interesting parts of single player and fold them into multiplayer experience, but also to make something that was not going to be too hardcore, but sort of a little bit more broadly accessible, so that there was a fun playground for people to, have a good set of game rules to use with the editor, the in-game editing tools. The game modes that are available are the standards. There's Deathmatch, Team Deathmatch, and a slight wrinkle on Capture the Flag, which we call Capture the Diamond. And then there's our unique game mode, which we call Uprising. It's kind of a territories type game where there are strategic points on the battlefield, and the warlord, who is the boss of, the two warlords in single player are actually the bosses of the factions in multiplayer, and they're constantly giving the teams orders, go steal diamonds for me, or kill those guys, whatever. Anyway, in this case, they appoint one of the players as their captain on the battlefield, and the captain's job is to actually go to those strategic points and capture them. It's a time-based mechanic. So the rest of the team has to protect the captain and sort of assist him as he's working his way across the map. Once one team controls the entire map, the job is to hunt down the captain on the other side. Dynamic elements are a big part of Far Cry 2, and they're definitely something that we've tried to focus on in the multiplayer for Far Cry 2. Fire is really one of the most powerful dynamic elements that we have, and it's propagated in the environment in a realistic way, which means that things that should be able to catch on fire can, based on the weather conditions and based on wind. And what we've done on the multiplayer side is in the maps themselves, we've actually included fire breaks, defensive fire breaks, and lanes in the maps so that a team can, if you know what you're doing, you can use fire either defensively or to cut off lanes of flow through the map so that people are restricted to only access on one side or in the middle or however you want. There's 6 classes in Far Cry 2. The Commando, the Guerrilla, the Sharpshooter, the Saboteur, the Gunner, and the Rebel. We have quite a few different classes of vehicles in multi. We've got flying, boats, and land-based. We've got gliders, which are obviously a real signature vehicle in Far Cry and the Far Cry series. We've got several different types of rovers. We've got jeeps, cars, land buggies. We've got swamp boats, big fishing trawlers, and of course there's armed versions of all of those. There are 3 different turret weapons, and those turrets are actually attached to the rovers and to the boats. So each one of the maps actually has quite a bit of variety in terms of the types of vehicles that you'll see and the types of weapons that are available attached to all of them. The thing that we're most excited about with multiplayer in Far Cry 2 is that there's a terrific palette of games, options, and weapons that are going to seamlessly link with the editor so that the community will actually have endless variety at their fingertips when they want to play games or invent their own games or maps.